Welcome back, Gothamites. If you're new here, hi. I'm London, aka History of the Batman. I'm so sorry if I look out of it because I am. I'm tired and I'm pretty sure I'm developing a cold, so I have coffee and water to help me. Thanks to the Hollywood Museum, I was invited to the opening night gala of their new exhibits, which included a Batman 8th anniversary exhibit and a Catwoman exhibit. And oh my goodness. Now, if you are not familiar with the Hollywood Museum, it's on Hollywood Boulevard. And if you're like, I don't know Hollywood, I don't know Los Angeles, what are you talking about? If you know the Grauman's Chinese Theater, it's like across the street. It is within a row of all of the amazing museums and exhibits and theaters that are on Hollywood Boulevard in LA. They are literally the place if you love film, if you love golden age Hollywood, and even if you love the current films and television and media of today. The Hollywood Museum and all of their 4 floors glory holds thousands and thousands of pieces from film and TV, and it just encapsulates all in this one building, just the history of the Hollywood industry. And it is a sight to see. I have been there several times, and you can just spend hours and hours and hours there. There's so much. Over the last now almost year and a half, the Hollywood Museum has had a fantastic Batman 1966 exhibit, and it held several cases. From you have the Batmobile, you have Adam West's Batman suit, you have Robin's Batman suit, you have the Rogue's Batman suits, you have an actual Batcave from the sign that says the Gotham City Limits, to the computers and all of the tech that was presented in the TV series. You have just the tons of merchandise that the Batman 66 era produced to the masses because it just became a global phenomenon. And you have everything from buttons to lunch pails to bread. It's just any and everything you can think of had Batman's face on it. This exhibit pretty much celebrates that amazing part of Batman's history, in particular on television, because as I've discussed in several videos on this channel, live action TV series Batman from 1966, which ran for 3 seasons until 1968, literally catapulted the characters of Batman and Robin, all the rogues and Gotham and the Batmobile and any and everything from just comic book lore into popular culture. Just made Batman a bigger than life character and a household name. The Batman 66 series was the first Batman I ever saw. That's how I found out Batman existed, was watching reruns of the show, and that introduced me into the character, and that's how I fell in love with Batman. And any and all of this that I do is based off the 66 series and Adam West Batman and Burt Ward's Robin and all of that. So anytime anything celebrates this series, I absolutely love it, and I have to go see it, and I have to see it in person. Now, I am friends with the Hollywood Museum. I actually interviewed the president and founder of the Hollywood Museum, Danelle Dadigan, back in January. I actually posted the entire interview on my Facebook page. If you haven't read that piece, it actually gives more information about the Hollywood Museum and my conversation with her, and it really illustrates Danelle's passion for keeping golden age and even the modern Hollywood history alive. And of course, as a museum buff and literally someone who went to school for curation and art history, I absolutely love museums and exhibits, and so combining Batman and that is like the ultimate dream for me. And I've even put on Batman art shows in galleries, so I love doing a combination of that. If you want to see my conversation with Danelle back from January, I'll link that in the description below. Now, of course, the Batman 66 part of the exhibit is fantastic, and that was part of the Batman 80th celebration. So they had the Batcave, they had tons of merchandise and memorabilia, but also for the Batman 80th, they had a replica of Detective Comics 27 in the casing, and they discuss Bob Kane's original take on the Caped Crusader. But the gala was really for the unveiling of their Catwoman exhibit. I was thinking about this while I was there last night, and if you think about it, not just the character Batman, but the character Catwoman, if you ask most people, like 95% of people, they're not going to say the first time they saw Catwoman was comic. It was based off the portrayals on TV and in film. That was probably someone's first time really getting to know Catwoman. This exhibit shows off the 6 main Catwomen from the 66 series all the way to The Dark Knight Rises, which was the last time we saw Catwoman in film. So that was what the big unveiling was for. They also introduced a new exhibit along with these other 2 unveilings, and it was for the Bionic Woman and the $6 Million Man. So if you are a fan of that, they had costumes, they had everything there for that as well. They had the merchandise. After they discussed the Bionic Woman and the $6 Million Man, we moved over to the Batman Catwoman side, and that is when Danelle began discussing the impact of Adam West and Burt Ward and the Batman 66 series. And then we got to actually hear from people that were part of this amazing phenomenon. Dick Grayson, aka Robin, who was in the 1966 series and also in the animated Batman cartoons in the 1970s. Burt Ward, he was there in person with his lovely wife Tracy. And then they had Lee Meriwether, who was Catwoman in the 1966 Batman film. She said a few words and she's so sweet. She's one of the sweetest people ever. The 6 Catwomen that you see within this exhibit, they are the 3 Catwomen who were on the Batman 66 series and in the Batman 66 film. So Julie Newmar, who was the first Catwoman, who was in the majority of the episodes of Batman, she was the first Catwoman. And in the summer of 66, the Batman 66 film came to theaters, and Lee Meriwether was the Catwoman in that film. And then for the last season of 66 Batman, we had Eartha Kitt, who portrayed Catwoman. All of these 3 different Catwomen brought their own sensualness and femme fatale personality to the characters. Julie Newmar is still probably to this day my favorite Catwoman. I love Michelle Pfeiffer, who was the 4th Catwoman on this list. She was Catwoman in Tim Burton's 1992 sequel Batman film, Batman Returns, alongside Michael Keaton's Bruce Wayne and Batman. And then we have Halle Berry, who did a very loose interpretation of DC Comics Catwoman, and that film came out in 2004. And then Catwoman was reintroduced on the big screen as part of Christopher Nolan's The Dark Knight trilogy, and Anne Hathaway portrayed Selena Kyle, aka Catwoman, in the 2012 film The Dark Knight Rises, which is one of my favorite Batman films, period. It's like up there, top 3. But I wanted to show you a couple of clips of both Burt Ward and Lee Meriwether talking about their roles within this entire phenomenon and how it has impacted popular culture. And so I will insert these here, and then afterwards we will check out the unveiling of the Catwoman exhibit, and I will show you photos giving you a more close-up detail of each suit. And hopefully that will get you to come to Los Angeles and come to this amazing exhibit. So check out my footage of Burt Ward and Lee Meriwether talking about their roles within these Batman series.
Tonight we celebrate Miss Lee Meriwether and her portrayal of Catwoman in the first Batman movie in 1966.
Thank you, Lee. Yes.
It's a big crowd.
It's a big crowd.
I'm so pleased to be a part of this evening's soiree. I think it's wonderful that we can live on as mannequins.
You're great.
Don't worry about it. But I so look forward to all of the reactions to all of the artwork that has been done by these fabulous artists. One in particular, he's brilliant, and what they've done is phenomenal. And I'm just so proud of them and proud to be here so that I can tell my friends what I saw tonight. And it's been very exciting, and I'm thrilled. I don't want to take up your time. I know there's other things to be talked about tonight. And I just say thank you very much. When we had our celebration of his life at City Hall, I stood there and I was saying prayers to him, and I walked out just a little bit before I turned up, and I said, Adam, I'm going to miss you. I'm going to miss you. I wish you were there. And all of a sudden, pulled in.
Wow.
Just as I wish I was there. It's, and I think he was.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Wowie zowie!
There you go.
What a holy turnout! Golly gee, it's great to be here. We're all thrilled. We all love Batman. Those of us that made our series have a special fondness that will never go away, always be in our hearts. We miss Adam, we love him. I had the pleasure of working with him for over 50 years. We became best friends on the set when we were first doing our screen test. Within 5 minutes of talking to him, I was laughing and never stopped laughing for 50 years. I mean, he was the greatest guy in the world. So we're here tonight with a very special event. I mean, you think about it, there were 6 actresses that played Catwoman, 3 of them on our show. Okay, you can see right there. And it's a great celebration, and Donnell has done a fantastic job. Thank you, Donnell. And so now is the time, I guess, right?
Almost.
Almost. She's going to let us know when we get to see fantastic.
There's more.
Catwoman. Wow. Pleasure. Hope all of you have a wonderful evening. Thank you.
I absolutely loved what they said in each of their little speeches, and I was in the very front row. I was right there, and you could tell the energy and everyone just so excited for the unveiling. I was pumped. Check out the unveiling of the exhibit, and then we'll just go one by one and check out the costumes of each of the Catwomen, and just to show you the immense detail of not just the costumes, but all of the memorabilia and props that were within it. So check out the unveiling. I was pumped.
Okay, drop it. There's another.
Is this full?
I need
Oh,
to
no, here. Just come up.
just let it drop. Okay.
Wow, there's all the way around.
Wow.
That's a circa 2019 Catwoman there.
Yes. That would not be television. That would not be 1966 television.
It is amazing in person. Like, I can't stress enough. So if you look at the very left of the exhibit, you see Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman in the black stitched, very now iconic look of Catwoman, that skin tight costume. There was actually a Michelle Pfeiffer Catwoman cosplayer at the exhibit opening, which I thought was pretty cool. And not only do you have Michelle Pfeiffer with the costume and holding the whip, but you also have the hell here sign. And then I love this picture that I took and that many people were taking, because Lee Meriwether decided to sit on like the stage that was right next to the exhibit, and she sat right next to her Catwoman, who's laying on the ground at the feet of Michelle Pfeiffer on the left and Julie Newmar's Catwoman on the right. and so sleek, so gorgeous. I love that she was sitting there in the costume that she wore in the film. It's so iconic. Her lounging next to like an orange and black cat on the ground was just amazing. Above her and to the left of Michelle Pfeiffer's Catwoman is Julie Newmar's Catwoman. She was the first Catwoman in the Batman 66 series. You saw all the details, glitter on the mask, to the costumes, to the like gold nails that she has. My nails are literally like purple, but the gold nails that she has. Even holding like a diamond, and it's just so all of the iconography and everything that you know, not just about the Catwoman in this media, but Catwoman in the comic. And what I loved is that in the throne in the exhibit is Eartha Kitt's Catwoman, and I'm like, yes! I loved Eartha Kitt sitting in the throne with the cat on her side, and at the bottom is a huge pink ball of yarn and more props from the 1966 series and film. When you move over next to the throne, you have Anne Hathaway's Catwoman, who was Catwoman in The Dark Knight Rises. Not only does she have like a Wayne Enterprises safe, which is the same safe that Bruce has in Wayne Manor when she steals the pearls from him, but also like wads of cash on the side. And on the bottom, you have like a treasure chest full of like jewels and things like that. It's just very lush. There's like gold and black satin on the ground, and the background is like Gotham City, just surrounded by so much iconography that Gohan's like screaming. Of course, last but not least, even though some people would say least, but I didn't have a problem. It's fine. I knew it was loosely based. But you have Halle Berry's Catwoman, which I'm pretty sure it's included in the unveiling that I showed you. But Eartha Kitt's daughter saw Halle Berry's costume. It was like, oh, you couldn't wear that in the 66 series because Halle Berry is pretty much naked. The costume's dope. Do not get me wrong. It's very sexy. It is very Catwoman. It exudes the sexiness that is of Catwoman. So I didn't have a problem with it. I just have the big black and gold cat on the side, and it just, the entire panoramic exhibit is so cool in person. It is beautiful. I love the curation of it. The curator killed it. I really enjoyed it. Ever since her debut from Batman issue #1 in spring of 1940, of course we know that Catwoman is such an important character to Batman, not just as a love interest, but actually as a member of the Rogues Gallery, or now an anti-hero, depending on what you read and what you watch. It's just such an important fixture within Batman's mythos. Overall, looking at the exhibit, and not just Catwoman, but the Batman 66, and seeing all of the memorabilia. And of course, they still have the Legends of the Superheroes exhibit, which is an amazing case that has Yvonne Craig's Batgirl from the 66 series, Burt Ward's Robin, Adam West's Batman, Christopher Reeve's Superman, and Linda Carter's Wonder Woman, all encased, and I absolutely love it. It's still one of my favorites. That opened up late last year. It's still there. I think that might be a permanent fixture within the Hollywood Museum. I believe some of the Batman memorabilia in the Batcave will be a permanent fixture as well, especially since it's so popular. And at first it was only going to be there for a few months back for the 50th anniversary, but it's so popular, it's still here. And because it's amazing. It's, if you love Batman, it's just a place you need to visit, especially if you don't live in LA, or if you are traveling here soon, sometime this year. I definitely recommend going to see it. I think the biggest takeaway from this experience going to the opening gala was in one of the speeches, someone said that the Batman and Catwoman, they aren't just part of popular culture, but it's American culture. And that got me because that's so true. They're just so important to the culture of modern American history. So I wanted to say thank you to the Hollywood Museum for inviting me to the opening of these exhibits. I absolutely love them. And I will put all of the Hollywood Museum's information in the description below. If you can, I would totally recommend coming to the Hollywood Museum if you are in the area or will be at some point, and checking out not just the Batman exhibit, but also the Catwoman exhibit. It is so cool to see in person, and it was just an even bigger treat to see people like Lee Meriwether and Burt Ward, who brought to life Catwoman and the Batman mythology in this series and catapulted them into popular culture and American culture. I absolutely love that. That's merch. Like, because it's so perfect. Thank you so much for watching my quick review of the Hollywood Museum's new Batman 80th anniversary exhibit and their Catwoman exhibit. Both of them are outstanding. I commend them for putting this together over the last 6 months. It came out so nice. It's amazing. If you're a Batman fan, go see it. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a bat thumbs up. As always, all of my social media is also linked in the description below, including Instagram at History of the Batman. So why don't you give it a follow and become a Gothamite? You should totally follow all of my social media because I'm going to put more photos and video that I took from last night's opening onto my social media that wasn't presented in this video. So if you want to see more, definitely follow me on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram. You don't miss any of that content and just daily Batman media that I put out. If you like Batman, why not follow? Why not subscribe to this channel? Also check out my videos for DC Comics DC Fans channel. I will be having new ones very soon within the next few weeks, so watch out for that. Yes, subscribe to this channel so you become a part of this Batman community. It would mean so much to me. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll have more History of Batman very soon. This weekend, right here on YouTube. Remember, Gothamites, it's all about peace, love, and Batman. Bye.